Hello magnificent beings and welcome back to my closet. I mean channel. Well actually today, I mean both. Today's video I thought I would go through some fun closet tips on how to save space when you don't have enough space for all the stuff you have. As many of you know, I already have a pretty giant closet. It's actually the master bedroom of my house, but lo and behold, I run out of space pretty frequently because I have a lot of shoes and clothes and other stuff that I just seem to keep accumulating even though I do sell some. But some of these tips are going to be great for those of you with much smaller, normal closet spaces as well. So let's get started going through my closet tips. Tip number 1. Saving space by hanging belts and scarves up on the wall. As you can see here, I have my belts hanging on some cute little clear command strips, so this is going to be apartment friendly. And you can honestly hang them anywhere. You can hang them on the back of the door, on the side of the wall, inside the edge of your closet if you have it. I have mine on the side of one of my sliding shoe racks for belts, but really you can kind of put them on any sort of wall space that you have. And that will help save some space and keep them organized. This can also be a great storage idea for scarves like I have over here. So you can see over here I have some of my favorite scarves hanging up on these little hook things. I picked these up on Amazon. They're really cute and they match my doorknob. They're super handy because they have small hooks for these lighter scarves like my Christian Louboutin one. You can just pop them right on there, hang like that, and put bigger winter scarves over the top. I have a second one down here. So now all of my scarves are firmly tucked behind the two doors, out of the way, in a 1 foot wide space that would otherwise be kind of useless. And I actually have even used these same hooks that I got for my scarves to hang purses up as well. So here I have one, and they're really wide on the top, so you can fit bags with wider handles without worrying about creasing them. Hang nicely, like my Louis Vuitton up here. And then also, the nice thing about these ones and having the multiple sections of hooks means I can hang a few different bags all together. Tip number 2, saving space with shoe shelving. So this tip is actually kind of two parts. First part is, if you have the space to put in kind of racks and shelving to store shoes, and you don't want to buy those super overpriced shoe storage racks, you can buy bookcases and get some extra floating wall shelves, drill some extra holes in the bookcase, and hang all your shoes. Hang all your shoes. And rest all your shoes on the shelves like I have here. The second part of this is storing your shoes front to back like this. As you see here, if I have all of my shoes facing forward, I can only fit 3 pairs on this shelf. But when I put them front to back, because of the way that my heels are shaped, it actually saves a lot of space, and I could even squish them over a little bit more and probably fit a pair of sandals in there on the end. Speaking of sandals, if you're really tight on space, you can actually stack sandals and other shoes that don't have a lot of height to them, just one on top of each other, and then they're taking up even less space. Alright, so tip number 3 is going to be all about storing boots. So I'm guessing a lot of you might be like me and have a massive collection of tall boots that tend to just flop over all the time, and then they don't look pretty, you can't really tell what you have, and they're just overall like unorganized. So as you can see here, all of my boots are nicely standing upright. I can see where they are, and they're taking up less space this way on my shelves. This also works if you have boots and you want to line them up along a wall or in the bottom of your closet under your clothes. That way they're just nice and organized. You can easily tell each pair what they are, and it's actually going to help their longevity because you're not going to get weird creases in the spots where they're folded over. So I actually have a whole slew of different things keeping my boots upright, ranging from super cheap leftover cardboard from delivery boxes up to some of those like fancy plastic ones. But what I found, if you want to go with the fancy plastic route but you don't want to spend the absurd price of like $10 for a pair, then you can actually just get some of those thin plastic cutting boards off Amazon. They're usually like 12 by 15 and come in like packs of 4 or 6 for, I don't know, maybe like 20 bucks, which isn't that bad. And then if you cut each one in half, you'll have enough for a pair of shoes off of one sheet. Alright, so each of these boots here actually has a different kind of thing in them to keep them upright. As you can see, it obviously works for all of them. So, starting with our red boot, I have just like a rolled up piece of like foam stuff that came with shipping. You could also use pool noodles for this as well. And those just stuff in and hold that guy upright. This is also nice because if your boots are different heights, you can just cut them shorter or make them longer so that way it fits the height you need. So moving on to the Gucci boot. This one has one of those plastic things I was talking about that's actually a thin rubber cutting board. And again, I just rolled that up and stuffed it in the boot. So up next, I have my snazzy Louis Vuitton blue boots. I love these things. Actually just a piece of cardboard from a box. I just cut it and folded it in half and stuck him in there, and that also works as well. And finally, for this pair of Christian Louboutin lace boots, which, by the way, aren't these amazing? Just like, look at that lace pattern. Ugh, I love them. And this guy actually has a pre-made cardboard shoe insert that came with a different pair, actually, that I bought new. So if you do tend to buy new stuff and they come with these cardboard inserts, just keep them around. So tip number 4 is only going to be useful for people who can kind of drill and mount stuff onto the walls of wherever they're living. So probably not the most renter friendly. I think there are some floating shelves that just like mount to the wall with like command hook style things, but don't quote me on that, and I have a feeling they're probably kind of expensive. But anyway, tip number 4 is utilizing the space above your doorways. So I know a lot of you don't have closet rooms like me. You want to be able to move into a bedroom or some other space. Think about putting a shelf above your door. So you can see here, I have a couple of these racks of, obviously for me, I have shoes on them. But there's a useful foot of space all the way up here that you can store shoes, or you can put clothes that are like out of season in too, or I don't know, odds and ends you don't access all the time. And if you're like me and you can't reach that high, I'd recommend getting a step stool, because standing on chairs is dangerous. Don't stand on chairs, kids. Alright, so moving on to tip number 5, I'm going to talk about some storage ideas to help save space with clothes. See behind me, there's a lot of t-shirts. They're actually my husband's. I don't wear t-shirts. If you ever see me in like a normal t-shirt, assume something is wrong and I might have been kidnapped. I'm serious. Anyway, moving on. Another useful tip is actually applying double racks if you have height in your space for storing shirts and pants folded over. So you can see here I have stuff on this bottom rack as well as stuff on the top rack. So that means I'm getting twice the amount of clothes in the same amount of space. So along with that, if you do have stuff where you want to have kind of double racks, but you still have a few like long dresses and things that need to hang full length, you can usually do that. I have my wedding dress and one other dress hanging up here, and they actually go full length all the way down to the floor. I just tuck them in behind the second rack, and as long as you put them on the end where there aren't other hangers in front of them, you can still run full length items even if you have double height racks. Tip number 6 is going to be about tips for folding clothes in drawers. So I know a lot of you ladies out there, just like me, have a massive collection of leggings. I keep all of my leggings in this drawer. And actually, I found if you fold them into thirds and then stack them all upright, you can see every pair that you have, and they're all organized, and you can fit way more into your drawer space. And they actually don't take up that much height. I think this drawer is maybe like 5 inches tall. It's not super big, and I can easily find exactly which pair I want. So we're going to take our pants and fold them in half, like so, then fold them into thirds, and then again in half. So I guess it's really like being folded into sixths, but then they'll fit nicely in our drawer. This will work for jeans and other pants as well. Also, if you have longer legs than me, or your drawer is a bit shorter, instead of folding them into thirds, you could fold them into quarters, and then in half again, so it's actually like eighths. But that way they're going to be a little bit wider in your drawer, but they won't go up as high, so you could fit them into a smaller drawer. You just probably won't fit quite as many pairs. My last simple tip is going to be number 7, and that is for helping save space with pants and skirts that you want to hang. So as you see here, I have all of my dresses on this section. In the back here, I actually have all of my skirts. And I got these hangers that you can actually loop together, either taking up less space across the rod and utilizing more of that vertical space. And they also have some pre-made hangers like this one here that do the same job. Well guys, I hope you found those tips useful, and I do have one bonus tip for you. If you do happen to have a lot of space but still need more, consider doing a sliding bookcase like I have here. This is super great because I'm only using one more foot out of floor space, and I have access to everything on the row behind it because it will slide across. I will include links to all of the stuff that I used in this video down below, so that way you guys can get whatever stuff you think might be useful in your own closet organizing adventures. Be subscribed to my channel for some more fun fashion DIYs and random tidbits about my closet. I love and appreciate all of you guys so much, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. Until next time, I hope your day is as beautiful as you are.